And I came up with a system that leveraged the creative art driven by the behavioral science. The creative art driven by the behavioral science. That was significant because most people in marketing tend to either have a strong bias towards the art or a strong bias towards the quant, the science.
Bullshit.
It's the No BS Marketing Show. I'm Dave Mastovich, CEO and founder of Massolutions, the world's only no bullshit marketing firm. Today I'm going to actually explain what that means. What does it mean to be the world's only no bullshit marketing firm? I'm passionate about our system at Massolutions. I'm passionate about a system that I built based on the teachings of the father of marketing, Philip Kotler, that most people don't even know is the father of marketing, even people that work in marketing. Why is that significant? If you don't know the history of anything, your culture, your country, your sports team, your history of your profession, you ought to, because it helps guide you for the present and the future. So it's important to me that everyone on my team know who Philip Kotler is and why he's the father of marketing. Philip Kotler is the person who made marketing part of college curriculums. He is the person who wrote the first or one of the first principles of marketing books to make it a course for colleges. He's the person that pushed for marketing to have a seat at the table at businesses. He's the person that pushed for marketing to be included in Masters of Business Administration programs. So Philip Kotler being the father of marketing is important because we need to know our history. If we work in marketing and we work in storytelling, we need to understand how it was built and how it came to be something that's now respected. When 50 years ago it was barely discussed, and 30 years ago it certainly wasn't respected. Even 20 years ago it wasn't getting the seat at the table. And I would argue, even today, it's not getting the seat at the table. So why is Philip Kotler relevant to me? Early in my academic career, I was exposed to Philip Kotler and his teachings and his writings. And it helped shape me because I related to it by what I was doing at that time. I had started my own businesses from the time I was a teenager, even younger, with my brother. And I had started a DJing business. I had started to work in the media on air for various TV, radio places I had written. And I noticed that what Philip Kotler was teaching was what I had instinctively been applying, but only scratching the surface. So I began to use his teachings for my own businesses. And then I took my first position, a turnaround of 2 radio stations that were ranked dead last in a solid market for radio. And I applied the teachings of Philip Kotler. But I also got punched in the face. What do I mean by getting punched in the face? When you take anything that's in theory and you apply it in the real world, you get smacked in the face. So it's like they say when you go to play a sport and you've been coached all season long in the preseason, the first second of that game, whether it's a football game, basketball game, hockey, whatever, you get punched in the face and you wake up and you respond and the fight or flight kicks in. Well, that's what happened to me. I'm out there applying everything that I'd learned, and I went into the real world trying to run a company and do a turnaround, and I realized that all the stuff in theory was close, but you had to adjust and you had to adapt. And so over the course of my career, I adapted that academic father of marketing teachings, which were all accurate, but I tweaked them slightly based on what happened when I got into the game. And after decades of being into the game, I wrote my definition of marketing. And my definition of marketing is to clearly define who your real target audiences are. Find out what they think, feel, and want. Develop it for them and give it to them when and where they want it at a price they're willing to pay. And then tell them about it again and again. Most people think of that last part, the tell them about it again and again. But it was important to me to take that academic definition of marketing that Philip Kotler had and then tweak it based on what I learned from living it. And that's where that definition came from. And then I decided to build the No BS go-to-market system, but I didn't call it that. When I was a part of a massive growth at a large healthcare system and a major university, I was applying these things. And I came up with a system that leverage the creative art driven by the behavioral science. The creative art driven by the behavioral science. That was significant because most people in marketing tend to either have a strong bias towards the art or a strong bias towards the quant, the science. I've preached blending those two throughout my entire career. So you leverage the creative art that's driven by the behavioral science. So when I say to you, we're the world's only no bullshit marketing firm at the beginning of these podcasts, what that means is not that others aren't doing some of what we're doing. Maybe a handful of companies are doing real marketing. Maybe a handful of marketing firms are doing real marketing. So I'm not claiming we're the only people in the world that know this. I'm not an arrogant ass. What I'm telling you is we're the world's only no bullshit marketing firm because we're the ones that are applying the no BS go-to-market system that is based on the teachings of the father of marketing, Philip Kotler, combined with the learnings of the father of massolutions, me, through getting hit in the face, through being in the game, and tweaking and adjusting that through many, many successes of my teams, the successes of the teams that I was a part of. That's what no bullshit marketing is. And it manifests itself in the no BS go-to-market system. So when I say at the beginning of the podcast, the world's only no bullshit marketing firm, I'm saying that proudly because we are following the no bullshit marketing system and we are living the no bullshit marketing mantra. And I'm not arrogant in saying that there aren't other firms out there in the world who are applying some of these tenets in their own way. But there aren't many of them. Across this world, there aren't many firms that are applying some of these tenets. And there certainly are zero firms following the no bullshit marketing go-to-market system. So I wanted to tell you that because when a new employee comes aboard or a new team member, they often ask me that. What do I mean? Am I being funny? Am I being tongue-in-cheek? Or am I being so arrogant that we're one of one? That's not what it is. What it is we have the no BS go-to-market system. That system was built based on the teachings of the father of marketing, Philip Kotler, combined with the learnings of me throughout my career and all the people that have taught me, my mentors, my teammates, people who I work with today. I learn every day. We tweak and adjust this system. So yes, we're the only no bullshit marketing firm in the world following the no bullshit marketing system, the go-to-market system. And we're one of a handful of marketing firms in the world who are actually applying those tenets of the father of marketing and trying to leverage the creative art that's driven by the behavioral science. I would tell you that. There are only a handful of companies, at the most a couple dozen throughout the world, that are applying these creative art driven by behavioral science in a manner that doesn't have a strong bias either way, that blends them both well. And we are certainly the only one, the world's only no bullshit marketing firm that's following the no BS go-to-market system. I thought it was important to tell you this as our loyal no BSers, and we're going to have this episode be something that every new team member listens to so they understand why the opening says, it's the No BS Marketing Show. I'm Dave Mastovich, CEO and founder of Massolutions, the world's only no bullshit marketing firm. This episode was recorded in our studios in bold, beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Remember, ask yourself, what's the big idea? And build your story around the answer. It's all about bold solutions. No BS.